We are a progressive social services organization that really focuses all our efforts in the community. So obviously we're working with vulnerable people that are at risk of homelessness, people that are trying to find their way back through employment programs, residential programs. So it's really a halfway house that we work to help people that are incarcerated. It's a halfway stop for them on their journey back into the community. We have employment programs that we offer in group format for youth between ages of 16 and 30 years old. We also have one-on-one employment programs that we're offering for people depending on their needs. And then we have our outreach programs. So we have a housing outreach team that really work to address the big homelessness issues we have within the Victoria area and in BC as a whole, and in the country as a whole, I suppose. And also, working with people that are incarcerated, that are coming out. How do we help them, complete all of the stuff that they need to do to re-enter society? And that's our CSI program. And then we have volunteer programs like camps, where we work with people that are incarcerated. We use volunteers. And of course, being a social services organization, a lot of the work that we do is volunteer-based. So we rely on volunteers in the community to work on programs like camps, to go into institutions and have a mentorship relationship. We have a Kids Start program that work with vulnerable youth, at-risk youth, between the age of 16 and 50. The John Howard Society, we are not just criminal justice based. We do a lot of wraparound services. We offer a lot of wraparound services to the public in general. And anybody that needs support or assistance can come through our doors at any time and we will help them. That's a great question. We have a tagline, it's part of our branding, that reads, "Where my voice is heard." And I think it applies to me. It should apply to everybody working at John Howard. I think the most important thing for me and the most valuable thing for me to feel valued at John Howard is to have a voice, to have somebody listen to what I have to say and to act on what it is that I bring to the table. I think anybody in John Howard should feel that they have the freedom to have a voice, to go to their manager, to go to their supervisor, to go to anybody and say, "Hey, I'd like you to listen to this. This is how I feel. This is what's important for me. How can we work around that?" So I think to be valued, is having a voice at the table. I grew up in a very conservative community in South Africa, and one of the things that we were taught as kids growing up is to be respectful of your elders, to be respectful of people that are in high positions in organizations, but not to not have a voice. And I think that has helped me throughout my career to be respectful of the people that I work with, to be respectful of who they are and where they are at, and also to leverage that as an advantage, right? So when you sit in situations where you have to do boardroom meetings or senior management conversations or presentations, I think my cultural background, the way I was raised and brought up, has really helped me to read a room, to understand who are the people that I'm dealing with. And then I think the other piece that I really leverage quite a bit is to be direct, to have a direct conversation, because that's the way we were raised, not to sugarcoat everything that you want to have a communication on, but is to be direct and be respectful while you do that. And I think that it has paid off, it's had its benefits and it's also had its drawbacks. I think, I'm human, I make mistakes, and I think maybe I've read the person wrong and the direct approach doesn't always work. So you go back and you fix it, and you know for the next time how to approach the person. Yeah, for sure. I think I have quite a few examples I can leverage about, communication challenges because of my background, the way that I was raised. I think that you get people, and for me, I equate that to be authentic. I think authenticity in your communication is critical, and being direct for me is that's the person that I am. What you see in front of you now is the person that I am, so I'm not going to have two different personas. And I think I've experienced people that find it refreshing, that you're very direct with them. They know exactly what to expect from you. They know exactly what you are expecting from them. And then I had quite a few instances where people felt very uncomfortable about a direct approach in their communication. And I think as a people leader throughout my career, it's one of the things that I know people that I have mentored and coached would call out as, he's always very direct. You know exactly where you stand with him, but he's authentic. And I think people like that. They may not like it in the spur of the moment that it's happening, but when they have time to go and reflect on it, you would find people that would say it actually does work that way. So I think it's a mixed bag. I had more success, I think, than failures, for lack of a better word, in having a direct communication style. And that's both verbal and non-verbal. I think it goes both ways. I think when I look at effective communication, I've got to go to people, process, and technology. And if I can start with process, I think what I've seen that works in the workplace is regular team meetings, regular one-on-ones that's in the calendar, regular departmental meetings, regular town hall kind of meetings that there's new information to be shared. That's a best practice, and that's very effective. I think that when I look at the technology, I think we have evolved in the workplace, obviously in the last 10, 15 years significantly, and I think that having a multi-generational workforce today, you've got to think about what is the best way to reach the employee. So a baby boomer might prefer to have an email, whereas a Gen Y or a Gen Z would prefer to read it online. So I think using the social media platforms in organizations is critical. I think using intranet sites. And then I'm a firm believer and a supporter, and I've seen this in action in the workplace, is have a pull versus a push approach to sharing information. A lot of people would like to go and find it themselves. So I think back to your technology, you need to have the right applications, platforms where you can host information that you want people to consume. And then the third one for me around people, I think it is about the earlier comment I made around the communication style. I think it is about being authentic. I've seen authenticity in the workplace around communication really very impactful. I think it's about knowing who your audience is and being flexible, absolutely. And I think, just in general is to be yourself, just to, communicate the message, make sure the message lands, but put some humanness behind the message. Current website is still active. We have our social media platforms. You can buy LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. So anyway, any of the social media platforms, look out for John Howard tag, and we will have TikTok soon.